Good morning, everybody. It's Bruce Wren, CEO of Revealr here. Welcome to our webinar on aged care and the difference that Revealr is going to be making in this industry. Today, we're focused on one of the most important drivers of care, quality, and aged care. How information is being managed and accessed and used in the delivery of care. It's a major problem because major organizations are facing all sorts of pressures, increasing regulatory and compliance expectations, rising cost pressures, and of course, a diverse and casualized workforce. The hidden challenge that's not really well understood is information fragmentation. Policies, procedures, training materials, updates, and they're scattered across all sorts of different systems. The SharePoint systems and OneDrive and Google Drive and so on. Now, the problem is if staff can't find access to the right information, it impacts quality of care. And so information translates, poor information means poor quality of care. So this webinar is going to show you how we're presenting a solution to this big problem with Revealr Digital Twin for documents. It's exciting new technology. So how we help you transform your information and make it have a major positive impact on your clients. So what I'd like to do today is we want to actually break this into two parts. One is I'll give you a bit of a look at the problems we're solving. And then I'll be passing through to my colleague, Nimit Kapoor, who's on the call, and Nimit will be giving you a live demo. So without further ado, what I'd like to do now is actually share my screen and talk about transforming information management in aged care. So here we go. So what's this all about? What we'd like to cover today is really the information management challenge, how Digital Twin is a fantastic solution for solving this major problem. We're going to actually show you Digital Twin in action, this new technology that allows you to get to your information far more quickly. And of course, why would you do it? It delivers fantastic value to your organization. It reduces cost, it increases productivity, and gives your staff a much better experience. And this results in far better care for your residents and customers. These are the sort of comments we hear from aged care operators all the time. We're working hard to maintain policies and procedures and clinical guidance, but ensuring that everyone's working from the current version is a problem. What we really want is our staff spending more time delivering care, not searching for information through all sorts of different silos. We have a diverse workforce. So often that means that there are challenges with regard to multilingual communication, being able to get information to the right device at the right time at the point of care, and ensuring compliance consistent across every site and every shift, because right now it's complex. We simplify and we streamline that process. So what we really see is information spread across all sorts of different systems in organizations, such as the ones that you represent. It can be sitting in SharePoint folders, it can be sitting in drives, etc. And information, no one really knows which is the right version because it's often duplicated and there's version control problems. So if you can't make information, if you can't deliver the right information, then of course that then opens up risk to your organization and to your customers. Everything at the moment is in English only, yet here we are in the most racially diverse country in the world with hundreds of different, with 100 different languages spoken. And everyone these days, you have a casualized workforce. You need to have this information on your mobile device. So often it's just a case of downloading PDFs. That's not good enough anymore. Real-time information is important. So what really are the big problems? It's a lower quality service delivery. Why? Because people spend all this time hunting around looking for the right information. Often the risk is exacerbated because you're dealing with out-of-date content or duplicated content. Which one's right? That puts your costs up because inefficient information management means that there's make good if you get it wrong. And of course, your staff are so important. So they need to have accessible information in real time when they need it. So we're talking about solving today's problems, and this is where Revealr Digital Twin for documents comes in. What we're doing is we're transforming all the content that sits in Word and PDF documents and emails and folders and drives. They're all over the place, and no one knows where to look. Or if they do, are they getting the right information that you're confident they should be having? And we bring all that into a single place. It's called a digital twin, a web-based replica of what you already have, so that now you have instant access to the right information at the right time, at the point of care, in the language of your choice, on the device of your choice. So that's a really wholesale change. So this is how it all works. So a schematic like this, there's quite a bit in here. But if you look on the far left-hand side, that's all the information you need: the policies, the procedures, the standards, the regulations, the information that you're dealing with every day. Now, those sit across all sorts of different systems. Sometimes it's in SharePoint or OneDrive or Google Drive or whatever. And how do you get to it at the moment? You download it onto your device. So now you create more duplicates, and which OneDrive. So what we do instead is we pour those documents through our digitalization engine into what we call the digital twin. Now, what's a digital twin? It's a website. You all know how to use one. It's fantastic. But the lovely thing about it is that every document now is instantly available, and you can go to any page on any device, any page of any document on any device in any language. And Nimit's going to show you a bit of that in a few minutes. So it just and how do you, the user, or how do your staff find information? They come in via a browser, just like you do on your mobile phone or your iPad or any other time you hit the web. And of course, it's all secure, and it is always mirrors the latest version of every document you have. So if it changes back in SharePoint, it changes in the digital twin. What's the difference? You don't have to go and search around 15 different places to look for the information. Everything's in one place, the digital twin. So I think really it's much easier to show you than tell you. And so I'd really like to show it to my colleague now. And so Nimit Kapoor, you have the floor, sir.
Yep, thanks, Bruce. So let me just start by sharing my screen. So in today's demo, what you're going to see is how we take, or how Revealr takes your existing documentation and create a digital twin out of it. You're going to see the intuitive user experience across multiple devices that your frontline carers might be using. So they might have mobile, tablet devices with them. So you'll see the user experience there as well. You'll also see how your frontline carers can ask questions in natural language and get structured, organizational approved responses from that. And I'll show you the entire application and different features that it has as well. So starting with the first part of the Revealr application, that's the end user side, and that's what you're looking at here. This is the part of the application that your frontline carers will have access to, and they'll come to this application and they'll be able to consume the digital twin of the content. So whatever you see on the screen is completely configurable from the different tiles that we have. You can organize it based on your organizational requirement. The branding, the color palette that you see here is again completely configurable as well. And the second part of the application is the console. So this is the part of the application that the content owner or the document owner has access to. And just briefly going over some of the important features is you will be able to upload documents and convert them to digital twin. And once they are converted to digital twin, you can actually start creating relationships between documents and the different sections as well. There are features like analytics, and we have a drag and drop forms module as well. They won't be covered in detail in this demo, but just to briefly tell you, once the documents are converted to digital twin, each section of the document gets its own URL. So you can get a lot of analytical data from the content. and combined with the forms module, you have a very holistic compliance reporting module built in as well. And I'll take you through the different AI features that we have in the application as well. So to start with the document conversion process, let's pick the document up. So what you're seeing here currently, it's the exact same thing that you saw in the digital twin, which is here. So think of these as folders where your digital twin of the document would reside. So for this demo, I'm going to publish a mobility support policy. So I'll put it under policies and mobility support. So this is just a hierarchy that we have set for this demo. And for the document, you can provide additional metadata as well. For example, version number and version date. For now, I'll put today's date as the version date of the document. And a great part of the Revealr application is that you can actually bring in documents from multiple repositories and digitalize them, but your frontline carers will have only one location they need to go to access the document, and that's the Revealr Digital Twin. So for now, I'll pick the document up from SharePoint. And here is my mobility support policy. I select that and confirm. Now it's ready to start conversion, so I'll start that process.
So it's pretty quick, isn't it, now, Nimit? What we're doing now at the moment is we're ingesting this particular document, we're digitalizing it, and so we're turning it into web pages. We're breaking the document up according to all the sections, section 1.1, 1.1.1, and so on. So, and that becomes the navigation of the website. We're bringing in imagery, we're bringing in related content. So if you've got a policy and a companion procedure, which Nimit will show you a bit in a minute, that's all coming in at the same time. Friendly, we're making it multilingual. This is all going on in the background at the same time and pretty quick. So a document like this, which is what, how long is that? 20 pages or something?
Yeah, 20 pages. Yeah.
Yeah. It takes a minute or two, if that. And so, and once that's done, we will now have created a digital twin, a web-based version of the original Word or PDF document. So it's done. So
yeah.
Back to you, Nimit.
Yeah, thanks, Bruce. So as Bruce mentioned, it takes just a couple of minutes. And in this case, I have just uploaded one document, but you can upload up to 50 at once as well. And before you actually make the document live, you can preview it in a staging environment. So for now, I'll just close the preview and publish the document directly. So the document has now been published. And what I'm going to do now is show you what the digital twin experience of that document looks like. So let's go to the published document. And you can see there are three parts to this page. You have the left-hand navigation, and that's made using the heading structure of the document. So you have all your different heading 1s and heading 2s as drop-downs. And it's very fast and easy to navigate between the different sections. The content loads instantly. And in the middle, you have the content of that particular section. So as I mentioned before, each section gets its own URL. So you can start creating relationships to these sections. You can start linking documents together. And on the right-hand side, you'll notice that there are a bunch of cards. And these are the value-added benefits that we provide along with the digital twin. So the first one that you can see is about the document card, which tells you which version of the document you're looking at. And this ensures that your frontline carers know that they're always looking at the most up-to-date version of the document, and they don't make any decisions based on outdated versions. You have Revealr AI as well, and I'll take you through that in a minute. One of the most important features that we have is the translate feature. So you can actually translate the content instantly into the native language of your employees. So for example, if I just click on the Hindi flag, you can see the content is instantly translated into that language. Same for Filipino, will be translated instantly. So it's very easy for not only your frontline carers, but the people that they're helping to see the content in their native language.
There's another side benefit of that too, is on some documents you will also have a relationship with the families. And so you can actually use other documents there to explain things, and it's comfortable for them. They can read in their own language.
Yeah, that's right. So I'll just refresh and go back to English. And then you have assistance card as well. So just briefly, you can actually provide assistance to your users in situ. You can have the different FAQs. You can help them navigate the site. You can put anything that you want as FAQs, tailor them based on your requirements, and they'll have all the things that they need in place. Then
And that can be tailored to your own organization. So it's quite easy and very quick to be able to build that.
that's right. So before I take you to the related documents and related sections functionality, a couple of things that are very important is that Revealr actually has accessibility built out of the box. So you can see the accessibility tools at the bottom right. If, for example, certain employees of yours or people that are consuming the content, they have certain disabilities, for example, some sort of visual impairment, they can use things like reverse contrast. They can increase the text size up to 200%. You have text to speech as well. So this makes the Revealr platform and your content, once it's digitalized, WCAG 2.1 level AA compliant without you having to do anything extra on the content.
So in other words, your whole knowledge base now becomes WCAG compliant, multilingual, and as you'll see in a minute, mobile friendly.
So yeah, as Bruce mentioned, it's mobile friendly as well. So a lot of the times your carers would be using this or consuming the content on their mobile or tablet device. So if I just show you what the mobile experience looks like, you can see the content is completely mobile responsive. This is an iPhone size. You still have access to the different sections, all the different features as well that you need. And same thing if I show on an iPad, you can see it's responsive to the iPad size as well. So it can be used on any device that you have on hand. Let's go back to the desktop version.
And it's worth mentioning, we won't show it today, but you know, for those of you who have remote location clients in poor bandwidth areas, it all works in an offline. We have an offline edition as well. So that really means that wherever you are, whoever you are, then you actually have the information at your fingertips.
Good. And now moving on to how you can actually start linking documents together as well. So from the console, the content owner can go to the relationships module. And let's start by building a document relationship. So let's say I want to select the same document that I just uploaded. That's the mobility support policy. And I want to link it to the procedure. So I go to the mobility support procedure as my second document. And I click on next and just confirm the relationship. So going back to the digital twin, whenever your end users are on any of these documents, they'll have a link to the other document in the right-hand navigation. So as you can see here, I'm on mobility support policy, and I have a link to the mobility support procedure under the related documents. And for your end user, it's just one click, the procedure opens up in a new tab, and they can find the information that they need very quickly.
But just think of how people do that today. They are downloading first of all the policy and then the procedure, scrolling through it, trying to find the correlation between the companion pieces of information. They're doing that manually, and it's clunky. With us, it's one or two clicks away, right to the information you need, the section you need. It's powerful, it's friendly, it's lightweight, and we can show you how to do it in just a few minutes. You can be totally self-sufficient.
So the relationships are persistent, and whenever one of the documents are updated, we retain those relationships as well. So you know that you just have to create the relationships once, and whenever the policies are updated, you have those relationships automatically created for you.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And one of the key features of the Revealr application is its AI capabilities. So you can actually, your frontline carers can actually query the documents in natural language, and they can get detailed responses from the documents. So let's say I want to query the document mobility support procedures, and I want to ask the following question. My resident has had a fall. What are the steps I need to take to be compliant with the falls procedure? And I send that question. So what the AI will do is it will go to the document or the documents that you've selected. It will identify the context of all the different sections, and it will return a response to you along with the references to the exact sections that it's used to generate that response. So as you can see, it's giving you the response, all the different steps that you need to take to be compliant to that falls procedure. And it gives you inline citations as well. So you know exactly which part of the response has come from which section of the document. And at the bottom, you have those citations as well. So you can go directly to the section that has been used to generate the response, and you can get further information, or you can ask follow-up questions to the AI as well. And one great thing about Revealr AI is that it knows exactly which version of the document it needs to look at. So it will always give you the most the response from the most up-to-date version of the document. So you're always sure that you're making the right decision.
And Nima, what would happen, for instance, if English is my second language? How can this help?
Yeah, so you can actually ask the question in your native language as well, and it will give the response back to you in your native language. Or we have the exact same features that we have for the rest of the digital twin. You can actually translate the content and the responses in your native language. So that also happens instantly. And you can consume the content in your native language. You can ask the questions in your native language. It works perfectly. So I think that's it for today's demo. And just to give a brief recap, what we've seen is you've seen the digital twin experience of what your existing documentation will look like once it's converted into the Revealr platform. You've seen what the mobile experience and tablet experience for the frontline carer looks like, and how they can link documents together, how they can find the information very quickly, and also how they can ask questions in their natural language and get detailed organizational approved responses.
Okay. Well, really, what we really wanted to get to, just in terms of summarizing today, really, digital twin is a whole new generation that supersedes what we've been doing for the last 30 years, which of course is with PDF documents and downloading. This is the time of the internet, and now everything now is available in real time on your via the web or via internet. It's available on the device of your choice in the language of your choice. So in this case, it's a digital representation of the information. The user doesn't need to know what folder or drive it's in. It doesn't matter because we've already done all the heavy lifting of mapping it. So now we've created your existing policies, your procedures, your operational documents, or any other type of information you want to use. And so they're just a click or two away. Everything is also structured as well. So now you know you've got the right version. No more guessing about whether it's version 2 or 3 or whatever. We're only pointing at the latest version. So no more static information, fragments of information, instant access to the right section of the page that you want. So really what is the digital twin? It's really a secure intelligence layer that sits on top of your existing systems. There's nothing wrong with SharePoint. It's a very big and powerful and robust system, but it's not friendly for the user. It's full of folders and drives and duplicates. So we put Revealr on top of SharePoint or another document management system or Google Drive or whatever, and then we can just dive into the information via the web, and then you can actually have your staff, as Nima was showing you, ask questions of the information using AI. It's all contextually aware, and it gives you the information in real time. So at the end of the day, this is all about getting better care to your end users, of course, to your residents, but also the confidence of the staff that they've got the tools to be able to do it. So it means that it doesn't matter what device they're on, what language they speak, whereabouts they are. They can get the information at the right time, the right point of care, at the point of care instantly. So that's really what Revealr is all about. So we would love to obviously we've given you a high level view today, and it's been, we've really enjoyed it showing you what we've done, but we've barely scratched the surface. There's so many other challenges you guys will have. And the lovely thing about Revealr is that we work with any type of documentation and we make it nice and friendly. So we showed you a few things today. We'd love to show you more. We'd love to learn more about your problems. And I think we can make a huge difference. So let's streamline aged care information together. And you can see on the screen here, we'd love to hear back from you. Do give us a call and we'd be delighted to set up a personalized session with you and your team. Thanks again today. And thank you, Nimit, for all your help.